Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Niramya Joshi here with you all, and it's time for another great discussion. Today, we will be doing a third episode of the series Challenges Faced During Lockdown. And to give you the preview of what happened in the previous episodes, we saw how India coped with the various issues faced during the lockdown, such as unemployment, panic buying situation, migrant workers problem, etc. Today, I have my friend Mrinnang with me.
Good morning, my name is Mrinnang Kumar and my group channel name is Journey of Lockdown and topic is Impact on Health on People During Lockdown. On the reprint server in May 2020 concludes that selected groups might have suffered emotionally. The lockdown applied to three main areas: physical movement out of the home, social distancing outside the home, and restricted availability of most public services while sparing essential services. There was a sudden drastic alteration in the daily routine, with many millions stranded in boarding houses and rental apartments without work and far home. However, the impact of the lockdown is likely to be heaviest on those who are alone, poor, already psychological burdened, or out of the mainstream at baseline.
I agree with you, Minang. Emerging evidences throughout the pandemic shows that the young people, particularly teenagers, are feeling more anxious than they did ever before the outbreak. And I consider the loneliness to be a key risk factor for this problem. A rapid review of the links between the loneliness and mental health highlights the potential for increase in children and young people experiencing loneliness to link to mental health problems in children and young people. I can very well relate it because I've experienced it myself. It was time of the February March time when my friends and I were preparing for JEE main examination. We were already hyped about it as it will be over in the April. Then the people will be going for another. We had very great plans for that. But on the 21st March, they imposed lockdown, and after that, the government decided to extend it even further. And as a result, our JEE main examination was postponed. It was decided to be happening between June. Then the government decided to postpone it further to July. This, for this, my friend did not responded very positively. We lost all our hopes, energy, and expectation from the examination, and we were all set that the exam up tough hoga because it gives us a lot of time. Although it proved to be beneficial for some cases, but not for ours. But we were feeling a very boredom and depressed. Anxiety was setting in. Then it was finally decided for September, but what I saw that not it was not as exciting as it was in April. I was not too excited and it was just okay. This time J Wayne's was okay, but not much. Do you have any experiences of yours, Minang? Anything else you want to add, Minang?
And anxiety, along with loneliness, could not only affect mental health but led to a decline in lifestyle quality and ultimately one's health choices. Depression is a known risk factor for sleep disorders and eating disorders, despite assertions by some public figures and politicians that COVID 19 is mostly a mild influenza like illness and it should be treated like a common cold. Except in some cases of comorbidities, the coronavirus pandemic has accused immense mental stress amongst the people. According to an online survey conducted by Citizens Engagement Platform, there has been 166% increase in the number of Indians complaining of anxiety from lockdown 1.0 to lockdown unlock 1.0. During lockdown 1.0 in April, 21% respondents said they were worried or anxious over COVID-19. That uh, that percentage increased to 56% in June when Unlock 1.0 was rolled out. The findings of the survey is based on more than 17,000 responses from nearly 210 districts across the country. A majority of 47% respondents were from the Tier 1 cities, followed by 34% from the Tier 2 and 19% from Tier 3, Tier 4, and the rural areas.
From the data, as far as I researched, I found that stress scores or PTSD were reported by parents to be 4 times higher in children quarantined than those who are not quarantined. Criteria of PTSD was met by 30% quarantined children. Young people reported increasing depressive symptoms and anxiety symptoms and can experience negative psychological consequences as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. This was a major bummer for me when I just checked this data out.
Much of the anxiety could be linked to the timing of lifting lockdown in India, as 79% of the participants of the survey said Unlock 1.0 will lead to significant increase in COVID-19 cases in the country. India is already at the fifth place and is reporting third highest fresh cases every day now. However, COVID induced anxiety is not an Indian phenomena. Similar or even worse is being reported from surveys conducted in the United States of America. A John Hopkins University survey has found more than threefold rise in psychological distress among adults in the US. It found adults who reported symptoms of psychological distress increased from 3.9% in 2018 to 13.6% in April 2020. Young adults are more affected due to COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic of adults aged between 18 to 29 years who reportedly psychological distressed increased from 3.7% in 2000 almost 18 to 24% in 2020. The increased level of stress could be linked to economic factors in COVID-19 affected countries. The
Also, the pandemic evidences suggest that the pandemic in general, from the pandemic, many adults are feeling anxious and worried about the future. In particular, the adults who are unemployed have reported they are not coping well, and with a quarter of this group is feeling hopeless with primary concern around financial security. Parents who are working have also reported difficulties in balancing the need of their child with the demands of working. And I don't know, for the variety of reasons, quarantine can be traumatizing for some parents. In a study on post-traumatic stress disorder in health-related disaster, the criteria of PTSD was met by 25% of isolated or quarantined parents.
There is another associated issue with COVID 19. The pandemic has disrupted the delivery of mental health services globally, including India. Like other low and middle income countries, India has a weak infrastructure of mental health care. Massive case loads of COVID 19 have further burdened the already fragile mental health care. This explains why more and more Indians are complaining of COVID 19 related anxiety surveys.
I agree with you on that one. This is the part that our government needs to look upon and further improve it so that some peers and our friends does not fall into the stress trap. I defined it though. into and do something rather rash. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like the initiative of spreading some knowledge and sharing some light on our perspective towards this lockdown. And I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye bye.